Good morning, AP class. How are you guys doing? Hope you're holding up. I miss you guys. This too shall pass. Just remember that you want to stay hydrated. When the sun is out, go sit on your patio or something. During the influenza epidemic in the 20s, they found that people who were in the sun got better quicker. So I think that in order to preempt that, maybe just get some sun, get outside, not around other people, except your family. But I really want you to know that I've been praying for you guys and hope everything goes really well for all of us and we return soon to school. I miss you guys. So first of all, I know some of you may be freaking out. I know that a lot of you are really invested in passing this test to get that college credit, and I am definitely working for you on that behalf. Stay calm and know that you all have really good writing abilities. And so we've done rhetorical analysis, we've done rhetorical style, we've definitely done a bit of synthesis. So what I've noticed in evaluating, because that's what I took half the morning to evaluate, what is the most oft missed question? And the questions that you guys are missing the most across the board, no particular person, across the board, has been those questions that are draft or transitional phrases, in which you're reading a student draft and then you have to fix it. And so we have to pay attention to the subject-verb agreement in those types of passages. So the subject-verb agreement will let you know if you're close to the answer. You would look at if they changed the tense, particularly this last practice test we did, which was question number 33. A lot of people missed that. Some people got it right. So still across the board on the AP Central website or our classroom, when I looked at the questions that students missed, it had to do with composition and less analysis, because our focus has been on claim and thesis and understanding the rhetorical devices, but now we need to focus on the writing. And so I want to take this time to give you that opportunity to work on that and recognizing those things. I've posted online a website called Albert. It's actually connected to Google, and you will go on there. The first one is just a diagnostic. It's about 6 questions. Take it to the best of your ability. Some of the questions are easy, some of them are moderate. But it helps you to look at the types of questions where you're actually judging the writing and how to make it better. I think that you will see that it can be very valuable to you when you take it and then you look at what you may have gotten wrong. It immediately tells you an explanation, and it's a great practice tool. And I left it wide open. There's no time on it. I do have, I think on the 18th, that I would like you to turn it in so that I could evaluate it and come up with other lessons that'll be helpful to you and not just waste your time on things that'll be really easy for you. So the number one thing for the AP exam is time. And we all know this, but it's getting close to the wire. So we need to pay attention to the fact that there's 45 questions and 5 passages. You have roughly 1 minute and 30 seconds to complete an answer. So it's super important that you don't waste time on one particular question. If you really get confused, put a possible answer after process elimination and then quit it. Remember the number or fold the page, whatever you need to do, and go back to it after you've gone through everything, because there are going to be some easy questions for you. There are going to be some difficult questions for you. There are going to be some passages where you feel like, oh, I read this story, or I have had an article like this. And there are going to be passages like, I don't even know what's going on. And it's not designed for you to know every answer, although I'm sure there's someone out there who got 100%. You are just trying to get that passing score, okay? Do not rely on your memory, even if you're familiar with the text. Many answers are partially correct, as we know, and it will take a U-turn. So don't go, oh, I know this passage, modest proposal, I've read this, and then get on and it asks you something different and you get it wrong. So pay attention to that. There's no such thing as a half right answer. Passages for writing questions will be contemporary, argumentative, and student quality writing. So basically, they want to see if you understand how to fix someone else, kind of like when we do the peer share, where you can see something that someone else can't. Because sometimes when we write things, we don't look at it again. And that's why I try to give you guys the chance to look at others' writings, then try to self-evaluate, and then I'll come in and look at it a third time. And even I myself may miss something that a student will catch. So it's a really good thing, that three-fold rope that we can get together and work on. Concentrate on the author's purpose, tone, and point of view. The tone is super important. And remember, when you're thinking tone, it's always how it makes you feel. If the author's angry, you feel, oh, okay, this is an angry tone. That's okay to say that. Or reminiscent, like the last article we read, the homework assignment that you have that's posted on Google Classroom by Amy Tan. She's an author of fiction novel called Joy Luck Club. Many of you may have seen the film. If you haven't, I highly suggest it on this time off. But a lot of her culture informs how she writes. So read what she's writing and annotate in the tone of what she's saying. What is her purpose? Always go back to the passage when multiple choice questions refer to specific lines, and it always does. I know that I told you read the questions first, but I don't mean eliminate analyzing everything around the question. You want to analyze in context. You want to look at the context of what is around what the person is writing, because they can easily pull something that seems like it's right, and then the next paragraph has a whole different view or a whole different tone. So you definitely need to pay attention to that. And that's why we close read before, but then go back and reread around those lines. Let's see, read a couple of lines above and below the lines specified in the question. I took some notes. The context of the lines is almost critical in determining the right answer. Pace yourself. Divide the multiple choice section into 12-minute chunks for each passage. So know to yourself, when you get in there, you have 12 minutes to finish that section. So you're going to be close reading, actively reading, and also having looked at the questions. You're going to be allowed to have a watch with you. I don't want you to get too distracted with the watch, like, oh, what time is it now? Oh, what time is it? Finish the section, look at how long it took you, so that you'll know in your mind how much more time you have. And you're going to start doing that on AP Classroom when I give you another assessment. Let's see, use the 2-pass system. On your first pass, answer the questions you can and guess at the rest using your letter of the day, like C. Okay, if I don't know this, I'm just going to put C, and then I'll go back and read it, because you give your mind a break from straining with the answer. Because sometimes when we're thinking, our brains are like, oh, what is going to happen next? And you're holding on to it. And so your brain starts saying the same letter over and over again. Just put down C. Oh, you know what letter did they see? I'm going to come back to this. And then when you go back, forget about C and then look at it. But make sure you finish the section first. Circle the questions you guessed on and go back to them later if it remains in your 12-minute chunk. After the 12 minutes, you just go ahead and stick with your letter of the day. Don't do that throughout the whole test, but if it's 1 or 2 questions, it means it has really strong distractors in it. Answers that look so similar you kind of don't know, or you really don't understand the passage. It's not going to kill you if you miss 1 or 2 of these questions.